time at home, and I'm hoping to get some reading done, and tidy my bookshelf a bit because it's gotten a little overcrowded too overcrowded for my liking. I'm not going to do a huge amount of talking, so cue a lot of time lapses, and I will hopefully be in better, or have better speaking capabilities in a few days where I can actually talk with these at length. I will say that I got to chapter 3 of this before, about a year ago now, and I thought that our main character was totally insufferable, but I picked it up from where I left it, and I'm reading it now, and I actually prefer it, which is really, really quite surprising, because I thought I was just going to hate this, but I'm kind of enjoying it second time, on a second attempt. This is a very innovative and experimental book that I want to talk more about soon. I'm doing the tandem read along for that, so I'm just up to date. I must read today's. I am a little bit confused, but only minorly confused. Not majorly yet, anyway. It's certainly a very interesting concept to combine novel with graphic, because you don't see that very often. I think I've never seen it, a whole book do that. I've seen novels have like a small section of graphic novel, but it's never been the whole concept, so that's just very experimental and unique and interesting to experience. I'm also reading this. We know that I started this a year ago, didn't love it. Right now though, I'm not loving it, but I'm certainly enjoying it more than I was, okay? Let's just dig deeper into what I mean by that, okay? So, our main character is not actually as stupid as it was made out to be initially, and B, he's not as insufferable. Well, it doesn't feel like it to me that he's as insufferable as he was at the start. Certainly, though, it has to be noted that either everyone around him is awful, or he just doesn't like anyone, and I haven't quite figured out that yet, like which it is. Like, maybe the people around him are genuinely awful, or is he just a judgmental piece of crap? Because right now, I don't know. I kind of feel a bit sorry for him, whereas initially I was like, oh my god, boo-hoo, you don't like school, get over yourself, kind of a thing. I have a little more empathy for him right now. One thing I will say before I go, because I'm going to go and read now, is that I don't know why this is considered a classic. Like, it's a fine book. Whoa! 1 second. Dropped it. It is a fine book. It's okay, though. Like, won't be a 5 stars for me. I don't care what happens, but it won't be a 5 star for me. Sometimes I just don't understand how things get classic status. That is my issue with classics, because I've read so many of them because I wanted to educate myself, and then they've left me underwhelmed, like Dracula. Okay, we're going off tangent totally here. We're gonna come back to this. Clearly I have beef with classics, okay? Anyway, I'm gonna read this, gonna continue reading it, and we'll see. But it's kind of, it's alright. I'm listening to it on audio book. That's another thing before I go, because I will go now. Audiobooks basically seem to not exist regarding this book, but there's a guy on Spotify who has this podcast where, I say podcast, but really it's an audiobook, where every week he will record 2 chapters of the book that he's currently reading that is a classic. He's done loads of them, but he's done The Catcher in the Rye. So I'm listening to the audiobook via him, because genuinely there seems to be no actual audiobook anywhere for this. like at all. And I have tried. I have looked in all of the most reasonable of places that you would think to find one, and there doesn't seem to be any. So thank you to this random dude on Spotify for doing this for me, because it's helping me through. Anyway, I'm gonna go now because I feel like I'm about to start coughing, and that's not pretty. So I finished work-life balance, and unfortunately I don't think it was for me, and I don't think it's going to be for a lot of people. I did a really interesting concept of combining graphic novel with traditional novel or regular novel. However, it didn't quite work. It didn't quite work. The authors didn't quite pull off what they were looking to do, it seems. The plot was very hard to discern. When you're reading, you should never have to work to figure out what was going on, in the sense that, like, I was trying so hard and finding it so difficult to actually know what the hell was going on and to snatch any sort of plot. The plot was just so difficult to follow. So I think it's a 2-star for me, unfortunately, which is very, disappointing. Because it started off and I thought it was going to be like almost kind of like an allegory in the same way that Animal Farm is, but in this sense it's to do with like modern day and our lack of a work-life balance. But the plot was so hard to follow. Like, I really struggled. I finished it and I actually don't know what I read, you know. So I'm going to take a little break now and I'm going to read The Catcher in the Rye. Or read more of it. I might not finish it, but that's what's up next. I'm reading The Catcher in the Rye and I am not enjoying it. I can't wait to finish this book. But if there's one thing about me is I'm not going to give up on a book. I cannot DNF anything to save my life, even if I would actually be much happier doing so. I have like a scratch map thing. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I've like this TBR scratch map situation, and The Catcher in the Rye is on that, and I want to be able to fully say that I've read it and scratch it off, even if I've hated every minute of. Okay, not hated, because it got kind of good there for a bit, and then it did not, or it was not anymore. I have very little left. I'm hoping I can get it finished this weekend, because it is currently Saturday night, like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. What time is it? It is 8 o'clock. I'm hoping I can get it finished tomorrow at some point. I am not enjoying this. Our main character is really annoying. The writing style is really annoying. Nothing about this is enjoyable. There's misogyny. There's just everything not great about the world in it. Yeah, I don't understand how this is classic. There is nothing in me. There is not one bit of me that understands how this is a classic. Because I've actually read quite a lot of them. I only realised this recently when there was on Instagram like a checklist of classics you read, and I'd actually read quite a lot of them. Because I wouldn't consider myself a classic reader at all. But I don't know why I continue to try, because I don't really like them very much. The only classic I truly loved was Emma by Jane Austen. And that's because Emma is just so... I think she's hilarious. I think she's a hilarious character. But I want to not talk about that right now, because this is not what this vlog... That's not what the vlog is about. So this isn't turning out to be a very good vlog now at all, is it? Because work-life balance has no plot. I'm sorry. Really great concept. No plot. Or else, well, it has a plot, but the plot is barely discernible. Like, you cannot, like... Anyway, yeah, I'm having a bit of a crisis with my reading at the moment, if you couldn't tell. I need a good book. I need a good book. This vlog is me apparently reading books that I don't like. Up next is Strange Sally Diamond. So, hopefully that will be better. Anyway, that's my reading update. I'm gonna now get into pajamas, do my skincare, make myself a cup of tea, and maybe read a few more chapters of this. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it till tomorrow. At least I didn't hate this. I just didn't know what the fuck was going on. This, however, I dislike. I actively dislike it. I need a good book soon. I really need a good book soon. Oh god. Okay. See you when I'm reading it again. So, I have finished The Catcher in the Rye and Work-Life Balance, and neither of them were hits for me. So we're gonna unpack that a little bit briefly before I finish this vlog. It has been established that I found this to be an interesting concept and very innovative, but it just didn't work because the plot was... I can't say it was non-existent, but it was just very hard to... It was very hard to find it. Like, where was the plot? I'll never know. As for The Catcher in the Rye, I'm giving it 2 stars because my interest was piqued when Holden was talking about people that he went to school with. Even if it was in a not so great, nice way. Like, he is an asshole. I've been told that apparently you will enjoy it more if you had read it when you were in your teenage years yourself. Respectfully, I disagree. I don't think at any age would I have understood or enjoyed this. Holden's just unlikable. Very little happens. And I do not see the point in it. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm now going to go and update my reading journal because I've let that go severely this year. So I'm going to go update it, but I'm going to end this vlog here. I think I'll give this 3 stars for effort and that I wasn't totally bored the whole time. This is 2 stars for the very little time that it did actually pique my interest. But in general, it was very fucking boring. So, I'm gonna go update my reading journal and I shall see you whenever I see you.